Hey dear viewer, welcome back to Patterson Autos. I'm Omar and this is the 2025 Kia Niro EV Win. First, let's talk about aesthetics. Obviously this car is a bit quirky, but there's nothing that leads you to believe that it's an EV off the bat. It looks somewhat normal, yet like a Pokemon. You can comment which one you think it is. However, if you take a closer look, you'll see that there's two faux grills here, which are an obvious characteristic of an EV, with a bit of ventilation down at the very bottom. Here in the center is where your charging port is. Not on the left, not on the side, but right in the center, which is nice because it means you don't have to figure out which side it's on. You just pull into your station and plug it right in. Coming around the side, you have a classic SUV silhouette, which looks really sharp thanks to this piano black trim, matching your piano black roof rails. And this silver trim piece flows well with the one on the brow of the car. That piano black's going to tie well with your wheels, which have a lot of negative space due to the need for aerodynamics, but Kia did a great job designing this so that when you're in motion, they look like a classic wheel. Now, here are your taillights, which you can almost see from the front because of the way that they wrap around the car. That big boomerang shape is very bold, and when you're looking at it from the back, it sort of looks like a baby Escalade. It should be pretty hard to get rear-ended at night with those massive boomerangs and this third brake light. Lastly, your turn signals and your reverse lights are down here, along with these signature angular reflectors. I'm down here. Hey, I don't know if you noticed, there's parking sensors back here, not in the front until you get to higher trims, but obviously no exhaust tip since it is an electric vehicle. Instead, you get this shiny piece of aluminum that finishes off the rear end. In the hatch, you've got a decent amount of space. The tailgate test is good. While we're back here, 60-40 split on the back seat, and you can drop down either section so you can gain a lot more length. I like that this floor sits up higher because it makes it easy to load things. However, it sort of feels like the space is very limited, which isn't really an issue. This floor hides a lot more underneath, and it's versatile, so you can drop it in case you just want one open space. And if you didn't notice, there's no spare under here. It does come with a run flat kit, but you could buy a spare in case you wanted it as an accessory. Let's hop in the back seat. Back here, you get a ton more space than you'd expect. Typically, the back seat doesn't have too many amenities, but it's very comfortable back here. You've got plenty of headroom, a fold-down center armrest, air vents for the rear, USB-C ports for the rear so your friends can charge, and oh, this floor is flat. So if anybody's riding in the middle, they're not uncomfortable. Oh, I can't leave the back seat without talking about this ledge right behind the headrest. It's really nice to hang your jacket on or to hang on for dear life when you have a maniac for a driver. Now let's get in the front. In the driver's seat, things feel a little tighter, but not uncomfortable. More so like it was built around me, and it gives you a sporty vibe. It really resonates with my spirit of driving. The steering wheel is good quality leather. It's a bit smaller and it has this aggressive feel to it. Very comfortable. It has paddle shifters right behind it to adjust for your regenerative braking. And your dash is a smaller screen, but it's not sunken in, so it's really easy to see. Off to the side here, you've got your infotainment screen, which is a bit offset due to this downward sloping panel. And below that, you've got this row of controls that does both media and air conditioning, toggled with this little switch right here. So now you've got your dual zone climate control that you could adjust, and now you can turn the volume up. Tell me what you think about that in the comments. I typically prefer hard buttons for everything, but I have to admit that this really cleans up the interior without sending everything to the infotainment system. Which, by the way, is super customizable. Kia really takes things to the next level, and it gives you user profiles so that you can have all of your settings in your infotainment system, and the buttons on your steering wheel are also customizable, so you can really personalize it. Oh, and if you thought that the air conditioning buttons going into the infotainment system was a stab at Tesla, it wasn't, but this is. Right below that row of media and air conditioning controls are all of your charging options. So here you've got a little flap for your 12-volt outlet. Next to it is a good old USB port so you don't have to throw away your old cables. And here you've got USB-C for that next phone you're going to get. Lastly, a Qi wireless charger right in this pit with an indicator light up there on the right. Behind your Qi wireless charger is the power button, accompanied by some controls for your heated seats, parking sensors, auto hold, parking brake, and you can bring up your backup camera on demand. Now, I can't leave the center console without addressing this shifter. Typically, I would always want a lever because it's just what I'm used to, but let's face it, in this day and age, even the levers are drive-by-wire, so this really makes sense to clean up the interior space, and Kia did a great job designing it to where it's spring-loaded and the parking button is sunken in so you're not going to bump it by anything. And that's the 25 Kia Niro EV Win, an unassuming, spacious, all-electric SUV that gets you gas-like range at 253 miles combined, without breaking the bank. It only costs $40,000, which sounds like a lot, but I just read in a magazine that 40 is the new 30. So if you're ready to take one for a test drive, come visit us at Mission Viejo Kia, and we'll be happy to take excellent care of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.